I live. Uh, I would say I'm good. Probably. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah. Um, I guess say her name and she appears. Stephanie Vakira is back! Yay! We were just starting to wonder. We were just starting to talk off. I don't even know if we were doing it on stream. Maybe off stream. We were just going like, where is she? She's not hurt, I don't think, or anything. Just maybe a little time off where it's like small enough they didn't need to indicate. Yeah. What you thinking on that? You think they're gonna put the strap on her, or hey, Ghostface? Yeah. Oh God, I lost him already on my side. Sheesh. It's gonna be one of those nights.
Um, what's your
Okay.
reactions to the Saudi news, them getting WrestleMania 43? Let's start there.
Yeah,
Because I totally would have missed the announcement because I didn't see Triple H posted on Twitter or social or anything like that. And then Ghostface actually let me know.
we're having connection issues already.
Yeah, we haven't had that in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
3 4 weeks. I agree with you. I think Stephanie better win, and Asuka could cost it because I mean, I don't know what it is about poor Io. Poor Io always is stuck in this weird triangle of contention. Whether it's Bianca, her, and Ripley or Naomi, it's always something. Now it's Asuka and Kyrie and Io. That's fair. I'm trying to think of like WWE wise, who has been some of the best English wrestlers as of late, and I ain't got a whole lot.
Yeah.
If you watch AEW at all, I mean, I'm a little bit. I'm from America, so forgive my poor geography. But what about Osprey?
I don't even know where he's from.
I don't know much about the difference between like the UK and how it all breaks down, and so I'm pretty. I need to learn. Let's put it that way. But Osprey's like my favorite dude right now.
Uh, do you know where he's from? You just kind of going off of the accent?
Going off the accent, I know he's from England. I don't know where. I don't know like I don't even know where he's
Somewhere,
announced from technically, to be honest
somewhere
with you.
from those isles.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how that is. How have you not? That's right. Thank you.
Oh.
Man, my geography's so bad. I blame the school system here.
Is it the? Is it just the hours for that region of the world compared to the U.S.? Is that why they don't do it?
No, they don't care. They don't care about that at all. I don't know
I
why they don't do it.
I thought that used to be like the issue, like the pay per view would take place like, I don't know, middle of the day for us here in the U.S. and like some reason that's why they didn't do it.
They still do it that way. It's going to be that way for the Saudi pay per view.
It's true, but
That's what I thought. I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to do some. I'm going to educate myself at some point here. I need to.
maybe they're finally starting to get away from it. But that
Well,
them
every one of
throwing
the
cash at them is what making them really go for it.
every one of the Saudi pay per views is middle of the day for that reason, because of the way the time situation works out.
Yeah.
And even like Australia is usually middle of the day, so there's no reason London doesn't have one. How have they not run Wembley or something like that for a major event is beyond comprehension to me.
Yeah, I think we're already starting to see them kind of run it into the ground because of money. Uh, I mean, we're just looking at how Raw runs. I've lost confidence that this is Triple H's, Raw. Like I think he's running things, but I still really think he's got someone in his ear from TKO that's making him not run the things the way he would.
I agree with you, Ghostface. They really did. Vince McMahon, hate him for all the stuff he did do wrong, but he did try to keep it priced in a family oriented way, it seemed like, versus what TKO is doing, which is TKO is just, they're trying to make it into the UFC.
And what a stupid move to even flat out say that, oh yeah, Vince McMahon priced it for families and we're not going to do that. Like,
They don't want families.
it's like, what are you doing?
They don't want families. They want the celebrities in the lower bowl. They want the Kevin Jameses of the world like they used to do for the UFC events. They want that in the lower bowl, and they want, if you want to go experience it, they want you to spend $600 to sit in nosebleed sections.
Well,
It's what they want.
the problem is eventually you you bleed the business dry because you don't create more fans. Just just gouging families out of it where they can't really go and get into it. You just I don't know. I can't see where they can keep going with this long term. It's like get the money now, let the thing buy and or die and sell it off.
Well, here's the part, and even they made mention to it that's interesting, is because they can do this because it's Vegas. People come out to Vegas all the time. And you're going to have your celebrities in the front row and in the lower areas. And that's, yeah, same. Yeah, as soon as we saw what the pricing said, we all kind of had the same thought. But the difference is that WrestleMania and these other ones, these are stadiums, constantly at stadiums. So it's kind of a different scenario. You can't make back your money on what you're losing by upping the prices as you go up in the seating area, because those are T-Mobile's like 20,000 people, not 65,000 people. So they're just trying to take that same business platform and move it to, and it's going to be interesting. They want it to be the place celebrities want to be. That's what they want from this. And I don't know, like right now it's the new hot thing to go back to wrestling again, but I don't know if it's going to be able to stay that way.
I mean, the only reason it is that way right now is because the last few years that they did so well as Vince McMahon got ushered out, and it's like in a downswing now, and I think the regular non-wrestling fans that are just kind of showing up again are probably going to get ready to leave pretty soon here within the next year.
What my question is, what brought people in?
Uh, Probably engaging storylines that was interesting. when the bloodline was actually like actually interesting, not this weird shamble it turned into.
Well, they did a
It
poor job.
you
Go ahead.
you had someone that your good guy had to battle against and actually beat, and now it's just it right now it just seems like little drama squabbles. I don't see no big storyline. It's just all these little high school like rivalry type of matches, and it's getting old.
Agreed. I'll touch on that in 1 second. Hop over. Ghostface mentioned, if anything, do the Rumble at Wembley and watch the crowd watch that crowd make Saudi Mania look like money wasted. I agree. Wembley's crowd would be insane.
Yeah.
100% agree. That the English fan base is rabid for wrestling. Um,
I,
they would make it look amazing. The crowd would be so amped, it would be ridiculous.
when they do any of the European tours, I'm not trying to put the English Isles into Europe. I know there's some contention of like, hey, we're separate, don't lump us into them. But when they go over there and do that full tour, you come back here to the States and have some of these shows, and what you guys do with your football chants, you change the culture of what we do here. You see our fans here in the States doing the same chants, and we're not like that. So it really should start to see some of the big four show up there. Like
And they will.
even if you're just given Survivor Series to test it out for the first time, you're going to get a big response from them.
They will. I 100% think they will. The only thing that will stop it is if eventually TKO sells to the Saudis. In my opinion,
Oh.
that'll be the only thing that stops it. But I don't think they will. I wonder at some point if they're going to try to invest in the company, buy a portion of it. That'll be interesting to see how that works out if TKO lets them do that. But
Yeah. Just don't know where that goes if they do that.
I haven't looked Ghostface at Vegas Mania 2 right now. I'm sure the pricing is ridiculous. I had tickets booked for I had a hotel booked for New Orleans. I was ready to go. Like, this guy here was watching me the entire time go through. Like, okay, I want to be able to walk to where NXT is going to be. I want to be able to walk to the arena, but I want to be near Bourbon Street as well. And I did this for about a week straight where I like every Raw, we just sat in here and I just looked at every detail I possibly could about where to stay, and I was all ready to go.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but it's TKO, and Vegas is TKO is Vegas is TKO's home. That's what they want to do. But I do think London will get one. I do think so. Just not right away. They're going to soak up all the money from Saudi and anybody else who wants to offer whatever. What was it, like $250 million? $250 million? I think it was like $200 million for. They're going to take that money every time.
Man.
It's a joke, though.
I regret those years past where you went to WrestleMania that I didn't just like pester the hell out of you and just like be like, "Can I go too?" And just,
yeah, we just jumped in the car for New York and just went.
Yeah, jeez. Because now, I mean, with how these prices are now, I'm like, oh, I'll get back into wrestling, and I'm never gonna get to go to a WrestleMania. It's just they're pricing me out. They're like, okay.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, we hit every indie show we could. We sat nosebleed for Mania, but it wasn't bad. We still watched the board and everything else. You got to see everything. Yeah, we just jumped in the car and drove 6 hours one way for us, and we were at Mania. Then I came home and I drove 6 hours the other direction for Star Wars Celebration. It was a hell of a 2-week vacation.
God. Heck with how prices are going up. When we had SummerSlam here last summer, I regret not taking
Yeah, they
the
weren't horrible compared to
tickets.
now. They weren't horrible.
I was gonna get it discounted too because the way I was gonna get the tickets is a friend at work bought them for his mom, but his mom couldn't go. Big wrestling fan. He had 2 tickets, and I'm over here like, if I can get someone else to go, yeah, I'll jump on both of them. But you already had yours. Some of our friend group that would have went already had theirs along with you, and I didn't quite feel right taking one ticket out of the two and just
Right.
like trying to sound both as a pair, someone to go with. It'd be a little awkward. Um, but man, now I kind of regret it. I kind of regret that I didn't just go there and see it and get to
It was
experience it
it was worth it.
right
I
in my
mean, it's
hometown.
worth it. Yep.
Yeah. So
Um, I could see you guys having it
regrets.
in London. If London, if as long as Vegas doesn't cry to come back to them again, I could see London getting in 2028. I could see Vegas crying though. Hey, let us have it again, then to go to London or something after that.
Really, double Vegas is such a fucking mistake. It's
It really
just
is.
it's so stupid. Like, yeah, just with what they're doing right now, it's just like you're trying to turn away your fans.
Right. Yeah, but they just don't want that fan base. I assume you didn't want to buy both tickets, if you're only going to use one. By the way, was your answer? Like you're
Oh,
going to only buy one off the guy and not buy the second in that scenario.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know all the laws when it comes to
You should be allowed just to give a ticket away. That should be
yeah,
fine. If you
give
tried to
it.
scalp it, that'd be a different story. But if you just gave it to a
Yeah.
random person, random acts of kindness can be crimes, but typically not.
Well, they could also just see me doing it and not hear the conversation. Just go like you're
Well, when
scalping, and
yeah, but you go, I didn't charge him anything, and he didn't charge anything, and just explain the situation. As long as no money changed hands, then I don't think there's anything they can even do to you. They just
but
have a conversation with you.
yeah, but in this day and age, I mean, you don't need to have cash change hands. You can do
Well, that's even better. If you said, "There's nothing on my Venmo, there's nothing on my PayPal," you can
yeah,
pull both those things up on your phone and prove that no one's paid you for a ticket or anything.
yeah.
It's a headache, but I don't.
Except if I don't have those things. I guess that's a better way to prove it. I don't have that.
Right,
Like I don't
right.
have any of these things. Just tell them basically old school like that. But you get. I don't know. I don't. I guess I have the irrational fear. I get like the one cop that wants to be just a jerk and just not believe me. And
Yeah, then you miss SummerSlam, and then
yeah, and
you
then
go
it's
through all
about
these
the
steps of
money.
proving it, and then you file a civil suit.
Yeah, I guess that would be the thing is sue the heck out of them. So
Yep, you made me miss this event. You made me miss it for no reason. You had no probable cause. You had no proof of anything. And I'm out the money for the tickets. I'm out this. I'm out that. And I'm out the enjoyment of the experience. So here's my civil suit.
yeah, I guess if I would have bought both tickets from the person from work, that's the thing. I would have had to buy both tickets if I was going to give one
That's kind of the
away.
thing I thought would be the part
And
you wouldn't.
it would have been digital too. You would have had to send me the info, and then actually I could just find someone and go like, you mind sitting next to me, and we'll just watch this, like. Just go up there with my phone, just be like, "Here are the tickets. This guy's with me. He's my second ticket." Okay.
Hey, you could have done that actually. Yeah, you could just walk through at the same time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
actually would have solved all your problems.
Yeah. It would have been just like, yeah, no, I met my friend here on the corner. We're going in.
I like the idea. Like you look cool, and like you're not gonna shank me.
Yeah.
Want to
Well,
go? Do you have a
you
ticket?
better not shank me. I'm giving you a free ticket to goddamn SummerSlam,
The
piece
world's
of
crazy
shit.
nowadays. Never know.
Ah,
Uh, but to your point though, to the first question, Ghostface, about or not, but the first comment about Cody, the Vegas crowd doesn't care. It's not a wrestling crowd, and it'll become less and less a wrestling crowd the more times they have it in Vegas. So they're just going to cheer for who has the coolest entrance music and who has, the coolest vibe. Because it's not a wrestling crowd, and it's going to be less and less every time they have it in Vegas, in my opinion. And dear God, I hope you're wrong. I hope they don't push Brock versus Gunther all the way to WrestleMania 43, but I could see it. I could see it. Brock for sure. I don't know. Maybe they might try to push like a Goldberg or something for WrestleMania 43, knowing the Saudi audience and what they want. But
Yeah, I'm worried with all this. We're going back into another wrestling downturn. Like I was getting excited that everything was looking up the last, well, like a year ago or so.
right.
Now it's just like, boy. Uh,
I like yeah. Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff Saudi wants, man. They request people that you're like, you don't want that match.
oh,
Nobody wants that match. Please don't
I
request that match.
yeah, I saw some joke meme. I should have sent it to you. I think it was on. I don't remember if it was on Instagram or Facebook or whatever the fuck, but they were showing all these like, oh yeah, get ready for WrestleMania 43. All these different matches. One's like the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. Like, oh god. Uh,
Yeah. My
like
stance is I'm hoping that AEW has their Austin 316 moment at some point and we get real competition. And I want to watch good wrestling. I don't care which brand it is. I personally will watch either. I watch indie wrestling. I watch good indie wrestling. I watch people in Legion halls that the ceiling is too low. I go watch whatever and take what I can from the best of all of it. And so I like competition. I like seeing talent. I like watching people work in different environments. I'm fine with all of it. I can adjust. I can adapt. But for WWE to turn down money for the sake of the product, they need to have better competition. I think AEW has the talent on the roster, and I think they have the better delivery mechanism for their content. It's all in one place. You don't need cable for any of it. You can just literally watch it on Max. You can buy the pay-per-view on Max for $30 or whatever it is, which is becoming the same price as ESPN Plus if you live in the United States like we do. So do I think it's going to happen? Sadly, no, but that's what I'm hoping for. If they can push their way into this conversation again, WWE will have to stop taking money over for the sake of the product itself, and actually try to put a better product out there. And then we go back to having good stuff again. But until then, they're just going to take the money and counter program AEW all day long. That's the business model they're going with. They've proved that's what they want to do, and it's troubling, and I hate it. But that's what they're doing. To be fair, they put some good matches on tonight. I mean, Dragon Lee was phenomenal in his match. Penta and Kofi was good. I mean, they're not really telling any stories really all that deeply, but it was good. To quickly touch back on what you were saying, though, Matt, before with the little stories, they did a bad job. They told a great, grand story, but story B was never being built at the same time. So now they don't have a story B. And the closest they're doing with story B is it's CM Punk and Seth Rollins. That should have been the sub story, or a sub story going on when the Mania big, massive storyline culminated. And then they should have picked up with the next major big story. They did not plan ahead enough with the major story. There should always be a main story and a subplot, like every good movie out there. And they didn't have that. So you're right. It's a lot of these little things like that. These little high school squabbles. But to be fair to them, it's also well played. They did tell a story. But to be slightly fair to WWE, they probably had a bigger storyline planned with Liv, and Liv getting hurt that storyline. But they didn't have anything secondary with the men seemingly lined up. All right, well, back over to Ghostface. And the whole story between those two will be, wait for it, Goldberg wants agreed with the comment that Braun should be the only one to have a spear while Bray wants to break him. Goldberg is Braun's 90% for me. I foresee that, and I thought that should have happened the first time. I didn't think it should have been Gunther, honestly.
Half the bloodline does the spear now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I mean, I could see Goldberg saying that. I still think Rhino had the best spear. I think the gore was the best.
Yeah.
But then again, he just gored the smallest people, too, to be fair.
Well, he also did a lot of those gores into a table, leaned up into a corner and shit like that. He did.
Yeah.
He did some gruesome looking ones.
Yeah, I just think you can make a gore look better or a spear look better when you're spearing Spike Dudley versus Kevin Nash, for example. That's all. But I still think Rhino's was the best, but I might be biased. I was an East W kid growing up, so.
Before we get too far away from it, also with the storylines getting messed up, Cena's whole one. I mean, that. God, I hate to rehash it, but God, that. That had potential, and then we fucked it up by The Rock getting involved and then not showing up anymore. So
back to that, but woof woof. I want to spear you into a nursing home would be probably better than anything they write for Breaker. I'm not gonna lie. Don't even think they're gonna even give you that on TV. So, yeah, they couldn't have messed up Cena's storyline any worse.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have even went some other way and had someone replace The Rock, as in say
they should have done anything but what they did.
Yeah, because all they did was just stick Cena out there and go okay, make it work, and then Cena coming out there and having to go well, I failed you guys, I failed here. I'm like, you didn't fail shit. You got hung out to fucking dry.
Yeah,
people that were supposed to be a part of this didn't fucking no-showed on you.
And he made point of that. He's like, my friends and I, we made TV, but that's all we did. We made good TV for one night, and then they left me.
Yep.
That was part of his promo.
I mean, nice to be, nice to try to own it, but it ain't your fault, Cena.
Right. Bloodline story fell apart. No fault of Solo, of course. Nah, it was all Solo's fault. I don't know what they're doing.
I was into that feuding kind of storyline, but then it just kind of what was it? Did they what PLE did they kind of end that at?
He really did disappear like Thanos snapped him out of existence.
yeah, they did. But they kind of ended that, and then it's like it could have gone. It needed to not just be okay, well, you beat us and we kind of go our separate ways. It needed to have more resolution than we beat you and got the waffle flaffle back. Sorry, LA Knight line there. The Uafala. I know it. I know the name.
You were into the NFTs.
Well, not this new hash thing of it. It's just too much of a reboot at this point.
It feels like there should be a battle, but they never got the sides drawn right. They never put together the dodgeball teams well enough to make it work.
Yeah,
and then they never gave it that chance. Because as they were building that, the Vision got built as well. So there was just too much going on. And it always felt like then with Paul Heyman with the Vision, Paul Heyman just kept irritating each level of the bloodline, but they were always outnumbered because the Vision only had two people. It was all poorly written, in my opinion. All of it was. So I agree, but they're trying to go back to it now, clearly, though, with the whole Jay acting like and talking to Roman.
I would be into it if they go into a refounding of the bloodline where Roman and Jay kind of see themselves as like twin titans. Like Roman Reigns still the tribal chief, but he respects Jay now and doesn't just see him as a underling. And pull the rest of the bloodline into it. Like even Solo's friggin' MFTs, pull them into it. Make it a gigantic faction. Like well, it'd be a bit bigger than what DX was. Not as big as what NWO was, because that got ridiculous. But go
Red
with
or
something
black?
like that.
I mean, black and red or black and white?
I was black and red.
It was all about the Wolfpack.
You ever look back at that stuff and go like, oh God, we were fucking weirdos. Like,
no, I go back and I re-listen to the theme music all the time.
Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah, I do. Wolfpack is back, buddy.
I go back and listen to it and go like, God, that was stupid.
No way, dude. That will kick off my workout mix.
Lame ass 90s kids.
I'll lead right in from I'll lead right from Wolfpack is back to the Filthy Animals theme music. All right.
Might find yourself in a body bag. God, it's fucking. I didn't realize how corny that was at the time, but whatever. As the kids would
that's
say,
where everybody wanted to be.
Then
that was the vibe in WCW. That was where everybody wanted to be. Dennis Rodman was blowing off playoff practices to be at WCW events.
Yeah, they're going for the second three-peat for Jordan, and he's just like, nah, I'm gonna do wrestling.
Yeah, I gotta go hang out with Hogan.
All
right, let's get caught back up. Why is Ripley? Because they got this weird triangle thing with every time an EO's involved that Ripley's involved. Ripley's always got some female tension in vibes in certain ways. And since Liv is gone, it's all been focused on EO. It's also, they're not dumb enough to leave Rhea off TV because they know Rhea is one of the few consistent moneymakers they got. So they got to interject her somewhere involved.
Yeah, honestly, Liv and Rhea are like the top two women really in the company. I'd say like 1 and 2.
Yeah, and just engagement and overall known and appearances and stuff. So with Liv off TV for injury, 100%. Like, she hasn't been on TV in forever. She was part of the Saudi announcement. She hid behind Triple H the entire time, but she was part of the Saudi announcement. So I get that. It's TKO's theme music now. Yeah, and I actually like your idea of him talking to Solo instead. Because Solo's more of a heel anyways. Roman's turned face. Why would you potentially taint Roman's faceness? We're going to go with that as a word. With upset Jay. Just let him join Solo. That's not a bad point. Well, that makes...
Yeah, but he didn't start acting like this until Roman got in his ear.
Yes, but I know that's where they put it, but I still think Solo makes more sense because of the attitude he has. And this is WWE, they don't care. So they could 100% just put him with Solo just because.
Maybe he's talking to both, and Jay can be the glue that brings back the bloodline and glues it back together.
At this point, the bloodline would be bigger than NWO Black and White.
No.
It would be...
No. It's getting there, but no, not yet.
MFTs.
Black and White was insane.
If he gets Jacob involved, and he gets Solo and them, plus Roman, plus himself, and if it's Jimmy, that's a big group, man. That's a big group.
Black and White had half the WCW roster at the time.
It had a little less than half. Because then the other half was Black and Red. And then there was 4 luchadors.
There wasn't much of Black and Red, at least to start. It was like the 5 at first.
Right, then it eventually grew.
Yeah. Then eventually Hogan was in Black and Red, but that was when WCW was about to get bought out and die.
Yeah,
that
They
was
had the
jump
Kiss Demon there as well.
that was jump the shark years.
Oh, they got bad. At the
Uh,
end, they got real bad.
Disco Inferno kept trying to be like, I'm with the black and red, and then they just beat him up.
So happy LaParca hit him with a chair that one time. Best meme of all time.
Fuck you, Disco.
Yep. Couldn't stand Disco. Rather have Alex Wright instead.
I kind of like Disco. He put on good matches, and he could always go out every night and go with that fucking gimmick.
I'd rather see Super Colo matches instead, but that's just me.
I mean, would I rather see someone other than Disco Inferno? Yes, but
Give me three. Give me 3 count with Tank Abbott. Give me that over Disco Inferno. They could have done Becky and Rhea, or moved her to SmackDown to feud with Julia. Well, Julia has to wrestle. They haven't used her on SmackDown very much.
Yeah, they gave her a belt and just went like, okay, hold this.
Right.
And then gave her a sidekick that does all the wrestling.
Well, she's supposed to do all the talking. I don't know why she's doing the wrestling.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm confused on that one myself. And Tiffany and Jade are the two right now just battling constantly.
She's just talking herself in the matches, booking herself. Hey, that's why I can't talk English. Just put me in the match. Fuck her. You can just sit there and look pretty.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. NWO was a long time ago. But yeah, they can't do that because they had to take the opportunity to bring back AJ Lee.
2 out of 3 of their founding members are dead. Think about that. NWO.
Yeah.
Nash. Jesus Christ.
Scott Hall had a rough. He lived a rough life. Yeah. But
he was never a main eventer.
I mean,
he was always mid card.
Okay, not main event.
Even when he wrestled Austin when they came over to WWE, he was just always mid card. Even as Razor Ramon, he was mid card matches.
You say that if that isn't like that's the reason they went out of business, and you could be right. Disco Inferno and the Kiss Demon. That was so bad. That's like the equivalent of what's going on here now. They had the Kiss Demon because they got money from Gene Simmons, if I'm not mistaken, to have a Kiss Demon. Like they were selling out at every point possible, and that's what I see when I see WWE right now.
Good Lord.
So,
yeah.
I mean, David Arquette was their champion at one point. Yeah, he eventually became a hardcore wrestler that almost died, but
because they made a movie, so they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in this for real now." Like,
yeah,
no, just leave him in the movie. Like, God,
Macho Man down too. I mean, the sad part is that WB has gone to the point where somehow what they're doing drew us to a WCW conversation. That their actions somehow pulled us into a conversation about WWE, which is sad.
Well, they just seem to be kind of going down that sort of road right now.
They didn't make a movie, but they made a TV show.
Yeah.
They made a Netflix special.
We're drawing kind of a little red web here of connections. Is just like, that's how this other business died. Although they weren't jacking up the prices like crazy. That doesn't help. That makes the situation worse.
The difference is people still think this is the place to be, but by the point that the WCW jumped so far over, they lost the coolness factor without even knowing they lost it, apparently. Like,
oh yeah,
they were still trying to take these sellouts and do stuff like that with like the demon from Kiss and this and that, but WWE had already become the new place to WWF has become the new place to watch at that point with Austin and Mankind and Rock, and they were just so far behind the eight ball they didn't even realize that they were dying this slow death they were dying.
Well, they also fucked up a lot of their like big main events. Like what was it? The Crow Sting versus Hogan match, and then there was the fast count, and then they restarted the match. And
There was stuff like that. There were pay-per-views that went off the air that before the main event was done. There was all kinds of stuff that they did wrong.
yeah, they really killed themselves and took the took the air out of their own sails. Like WWE was just trying to keep up and match, and they screwed up while WWE was still putting on the same like quality of production. That's one of the biggest things they always had going for them since the 80s, since Vince took it over, was like have good production.
See, I'd argue that WCW for a while with Nitro had better production because it had more money involved. They had the bigger fireworks, they had the better stage, they had the more outrageous looking Titantron. They had the spring break show where the ring was in the pool. Like they had a better production for a while, but the content sucked.
Yeah, well, for that while, that's when they were beating them in the ratings, and then it just fell off because of content sucking.
Yeah, the content went downhill, and WWE went with a content scenario where if you watch an old episode of Raw, it's boom, 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 match, 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 backstage segment, match, backstage segment, match. Something that happened earlier now happening backstage. Like the excitement stayed rolling the entire time, which is something I used to get mad about with the way they used to do productions back in the 2015 era, because every time there'd be a match and then any type of segment would go away. Instead, it'd be a video package for the next 15 minutes showing you what you missed last week on Raw, unless you watched it. Then you just rewatched Raw from last week for 15 minutes for no apparent reason. And it was bad. It's 100% true. It's where the money matters the most, especially after it got bought.
Yeah.
After it got bought by TKO, like I knew it would change. I just didn't think it would change this much that quickly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So,
Like maybe I kind of thought like if anything, prices would go up over time, not they just start gouging the shit out of it, and then
God, I forgot about the Kennel from Hell match.
And then tell us they're gouging us. Like that's the worst part of it, where they just went like, "Yeah, we're doing it on purpose to you."
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, so you don't want us to watch anymore. They, uh, what was it? Even with the AJ Lee coming back, was that Raw that she came back on?
Yeah.
So, unless tonight beat it, that was the lowest rating Raw since the Netflix era.
That's what the report is. It's so hard to nail down what's true and what's not, but that's the report. Yeah,
yeah,
and that the ratings have been dwindling like it always does. I'm not surprised overall. They're not even, I don't think they even worry about the ratings as much as they used to. I think it's more about the social media engagements because, you know, even on when they talked about it, they didn't even mention the ratings at all. They just mentioned the social media engagement. So they kind of pick and choose which thing they want to bring up. And AJ doesn't really require you to watch the whole episode of Raw. So they know that. So
yeah,
that was just really like even on Netflix, they said they made the top 10 this week on Netflix for her return. Well, her return made the, like not the whole show. So
it was actually the week before, and some idiot just put AJ's picture on there. I mean, that could have happened, and I didn't pay that close attention to it and just went with it. But
Could have been.
Uh,
I mean, she's gonna bring some people into it, but the way it always goes is that they get a new deal, they move to a new platform, and then the ratings begin to drop a little bit. I never hear of a bidding war anymore with WWE. Ever since they got the Fox deal forever ago, and then left the Fox deal, like I've not heard of a bidding war anymore. They get higher prices, like people buy them for more, but it doesn't. I question if the person buying the new buyer is really just bidding against themselves because it doesn't sound like the competition, the place where they're currently at, is trying that hard to keep them ever. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, there's no like even second guess to stay on Fox or stay on USA or stay on Peacock. It's just I'm jumping now, and the question is why?
yeah. I don't know. Without without some sort of bidding war, like how do they even end up commanding a higher price then?
Because everyone sees the metrics, the whether it's the ratings to being decent to the social media presence, they see that and they want that, but it always feels like they don't deliver to the same degree as the companies want. Because if Fox got what they wanted from them, they would have probably put in a higher bid to keep them. Netflix needs to buy content, so Netflix is going to overpay for sports-esque content, and they will overpay for it. So they just, I think they just saw what the previous bid was and bid higher. Because you'd think at some point someone would bid enough to keep them if they thought they were that good. And at no point has anybody in the past recent years bid a way that made sense for them to stay where they were.
Yeah.
So,
I guess also having a live event on Netflix to them was probably like, well,
right, which is why
this
Netflix overpaid.
this will like garner more interest, like having more different types of content on here.
Right. Plus,
And
it's a content that they could put ads in and no one's going to care. And it's going to add to their sports situation. They want people thinking of Netflix with NFL and with now wrestling and boxing. They're trying to make these live events that kind of force you in there for reoccurring views.
yeah, and I was just thinking this, and you just hit the point right there, where it's just like even every week they have you going to Netflix for this thing. Your thing ends, and then you might be like, well, what will I watch now? Well, you're already here on Netflix. Why don't you take a look and
The
peruse
other
and be
element to
here?
that, too, you're absolutely right. But the other element to that, too, is a lot of fans right now for Netflix go, oh man, Wednesday's coming out. They get it for a month, they binge Wednesday, then they go, I don't need that anymore, cancel.
Yeah,
Or, the next episode of Stranger Things come out, I'm going to watch that, and they cancel. If they
yeah,
have episodic stuff weekly, whether it's NFL games or wrestling, now you can't cancel. Now
yeah,
your content is forever. You have
yeah.
forever content.
You're a year round subscription.
Yep.
For sure, like more shoring up more people. I mean, I already did that for years, but shoring up more people that will do that. So
Yep.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good point.
I agree. Bailey was the only thing that came in tonight really wanting to talk about was Bailey, honestly. Because I think that her stuff was good. Except now it just like I thought she was gonna bounce back and forth and maybe snap randomly, but it seems like now
It
Lyra's just her trigger. Like only Lyra is the trigger. And I don't know if I like that too much.
well, I mean, this is kind of week one of her kind of snapping like
Right.
that.
There's
Maybe she's not, but maybe she's it. She is. We're gonna have to watch your theory on that and see if that actually holds water. You could be right, but
I mean if they write it out, but as we speak right now, it's the only thing that was a negative trigger was Lyra. Nothing else was a negative trigger.
well, negative, sure. It's just even with the other people and being a hugger, it was just I wasn't seeing it as like, oh, hugger Bailey's back. I was seeing it as crazy Bailey is here and she's
Yeah,
hugging
but
people.
she even did the old school Bailey wacky inflatable arm man swoop before she jumped into the corner on the person.
Uh, yeah, I'm just seeing that as Bailey's gone
Crazy.
crazy and she's gone back to the hugger thing, and it's more of a love me again, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on where they take the character. I mean, the character argued with itself earlier that it got away from being happy, and it was happy. Suppose the character, right? It being the character, was happy when she was the hugger. So it's almost like a self-preservation for happiness scenario. And the other side is like, no, that sucked, and we hated every bit of it, and I'm angry about it.
Yeah.
So it's
kind of what Ghostface talking about, the messing that up too. Maybe they'll take some of the criticism of like what we saw tonight and kind of tweak it and go from there. Maybe they can fix it.
I don't give them enough credit, nor do I think they have enough balls to do like a Mickey James Trish Stratus angle again, which is what that feels like to me. I don't feel like they will go that way. And that's another problem too. I don't know. That's true. It is kind of how far off track they've thrown it. That's another thing too. Like, I could see them doing that storyline on Netflix. I could see that happening. They could be okay with doing that weird, lovey-dovey same-sex scenario there.
We are on Netflix.
Right, but I could see them saying they do it on Netflix, but you can't pay it off on ESPN because that's happy-go-lucky Disney. That's the mouse.
Oh, because of the PLEs?
Yeah.
So you bought the PLEs. You might see some weird shit.
You're not going to see anything weird. They're owned by Disney.
I don't know.
No way. I don't buy it for a second. The PLEs are on. They're Disney owned. The mouse was really protective of what they do, and they paid a lot of money for it. So
I'm with Ghostface. Fuck the mouse.
I'm with you. I'm with you with that. But it's just that's a business. The mouse runs it all.
I want PLEs back when we used to get flashed after like a wrestling in a pool.
That happened one time.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Fucking Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah. If the closest thing you're going to get to that is AEW.
And they're not even going to go that far.
No. Maybe one of the indie scenes might. I don't think they will, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of have the problem that you do something too risque like that, and you'll get they'll never want you in their venue again. All of a sudden, you're trying to find some new place to have that at.
Well, you always run into the one you get this. You get this is our last show at the Tadmore. This is our last show at the Temple. This is our last show.
Oh yeah, if you get one of those, then release the puppies.
Because the venue's already gone.
Yeah.
I believe Manny, Sonya, or Bailey and Sasha was gonna be the actual thing at one point. What do you mean by the actual thing? And Mandy, I mean,
Ew.
I'm not against it. I was good. I mean, I think everyone is a big fan of it. I think that was what drove the Dom, Liv, Rhea. Even before Dom was involved, Liv and Rhea with their... I'm staring. My desktop is the WrestleMania gimmick where one's a cat and one's, I'm pretty sure, a rabbit in latex. Okay, so like... we all love that. Ain't no one against it, but I'm just saying I don't know if they'll go that route with it. Like, they weren't supposed to censor Netflix in the first place, and they're already censoring swearing words from the crowd. Like,
yeah,
they've already gone back on that. Also, I did notice that one of the markers up in the corner said substance abuse or substance for like one of the rating factors, and I'm like, what, steroids? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's the substance on Raw? Even,
gonna be kicking back some Steve Weisers.
Right.
What?
Like, they never showed up, so I was confused.
I don't know. I didn't see that, but I believe you.
That was like last week's. Yeah. You had to. I think this crowd would have took over the show until Cena came out. They were already chanting Cena in the middle of the setup for the LA Knight and Jay and Jimmy match, they were already chanting away at Cena. So you just had to get Cena out there and get that promo over. Otherwise, I think the show had been hijacked by the Boston crowd. You could have swerved him and threw someone else out there instead, but I just think that would have ended badly.
Kind of makes sense. That's his state. You better throw him out there right away. It's like not.
I mean, you could have ended the show with him and he would have had a massive pop. But I just think the fans right off the bat were like, yeah, we're seeing him now. Deal with it. And the Vision's on hiatus because they've rewritten a better storyline in their opinion between the couples battling. I don't know when Paul Heyman gets to get back, but Paul Heyman needs to be there with the Bronze because they don't feel like part of the Vision without Paul Heyman. They feel like their own tag team, but they don't feel like part of the Vision without Paul Heyman being there. So,
yeah. Also, kind of like Seth being so separated from him. It's just kind of like
that's what I mean. Seth has a different storyline. They're not. It would feel more like still a unit, but Seth is off doing his own battle now because there's no Paul kind of being this intermediate thing that keeps the two groups that keep essentially Becky and Seth tied to the Vision. It's just it feels separated.
They could do backstage things like
well, they could. They won't, but they could.
It's ridiculous if you.
They do it with Judgment Day all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. I know
they keep showing.
They don't have a clubhouse, but yeah, if you just did backstage segments with them, like where they're kind of touching base, like okay, yeah, we can't help you with that. We're dealing with this fucking thing with fucking Punk.
Agreed, but they won't.
So fucking stupid. Doesn't make any sense.
And yes, I agree that the money has driven the interest out of the crowd. I think it really does that at some of these shows we see, like Raw and stuff like that. But again, I don't think the crowd you're going to get, the PLEs are going to matter. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're the hardcore wrestling fans, so they're just going to be there to cheer at whatever is supposed to be cheered for, essentially. So I think Raws will suffer. I don't think we're going to see a difference at WrestlePalooza, for example.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. The money has just driven interest out. It just, I mean, they're just blatant with it. Just going like we're pricing out families just to make bank here.
True.
Even the crowd, seeing the little advertisement they have, like whether it's in commercial before the show starts or after the show starts, in the arena going like, oh yeah, WrestleMania 43 will be in Saudi, and they're just going, you sold out the entire crowd. Like,
yeah,
you talk about listening to the fans, the old school wrestlers, the Triple H's and whatnot. They're listening to the crowd, but that's why I still don't think that. I don't think he has the say in this. I think he's just running the day-to-day stuff, keeping his job, and riding this out for now. Because I don't think he's in control of creative at all at this point. I think he helps a little bit, but
I think you nailed it. I think he's definitely in charge of day to day for Raw, for example. But I think the big overarching ideas aren't necessarily his, and he might just get okays to make adjustments. Like he may have had to sit through the last 4 months with the John Cena storyline, and then eventually got the okay to go, all right, change him back, and him sitting there going, why did we do what we just did for 4 months? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he might just, and that would be real frustrating if your job is to direct something and then you get an idea and then you can't do it because someone above you tells you not to.
if I don't have myself mixed up here, I think tonight Triple H wasn't there for Raw. He was on Kill Tony instead, which is a live YouTube event every Monday. That actually runs against Raw, which I'm kind of surprised since fucking Tony Hinchcliffe is a wrestling fan. But one of his special guests was supposed to be Triple H.
Yeah,
I had to watch it later because I actually watch. I like at least listening to that show, like the podcast version. But it'll be interesting. But I mean, if things went well without him, as well as they normally do without him being there, that can get to a point with TKO going like, "Why do we need you?"
I mean, they still need to have a figure like that. That's kind of gonna. At one point, they the rumor was they created um, the Netflix show to make Triple H the Dana White for WWE.
Oh, that rumor. That was right after the rumor of they're gonna fire Triple H. That was going on for a bit.
Yeah. You're supposed to care. They want you to care. You don't have to get a stupid ESPN app and subscription to watch like we do. So, yay for you on that one.
I'm a fan of Stephanie Vakir, so I care about that match. But I guess that puts me on par with you caring about AJ's match. It's like we all kind of have our one match we care about, and the rest is just kind of like, eh.
I care to watch whatever Cena is going to do in the ring on the way out. I don't particularly like Lesnar. Have never really liked him as a wrestler or a UFC fighter.
Yeah,
Um, Usos versus Braun. It just is what it is. Like it feels like we're gonna get to a match where it's the Vision versus the Bloodline, but Roman and the Usos
yeah.
at some point. Um, Io versus Stephanie. I gladly watch that match every day. I'm fine with that match. I do think it, like you said, I don't think it's going to go super clean or there's going to be something going on afterwards because I think the storyline is going to become Stephanie's the champion. Io is feuding with Asuka by the end of it. And my favorite pirate is going to be conflicted on what to do.
So
And I want to watch the couples match just to watch the couples match, but only because it's happening. If it wasn't happening, I wouldn't care. Like this isn't something I really wanted to happen. I didn't think it needed to happen for any reason, but
they're probably gonna go with Stephanie Vakir taking that title, so they can see her defending it against Rhea.
Cause I mean, she could defend. Io could defend against Rhea, technically, because they have a storyline going there with that. But
yeah, I think people want to see Stephanie versus Rhea.
I don't think they care what the people want.
Well,
I think the reason why they would do it that way is so that Io can run her storyline with Asuka, and then after that, what they could do is they could build up Io versus Ripley in a one-on-one match at Mania down the road.
Oh, you don't like Rhea, huh? Oh. I'm okay with Rhea with long hair. When she had that short pixie haircut and made herself look like a man. That I didn't like. I thought
the slicked back look was good back in NXT. I had no problem with that look.
Was it really, really super duper short?
It was, but it wasn't a pixie yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'd have to see exactly what you're talking about. I just remember when it was really, really short. I'm like, yuck, not a good look.
See, I'm the opposite. I think the middle look is the worst. When the long hair isn't long yet, but it's not like short either. Like there's nothing you can do with it. You're in that in between awkward stage in the middle that everyone hates.
The wife doesn't really like the length that it's at now. When it was like, I guess like above her shoulders, she kind of like that.
I think the longer hair fits her. She did just have it cut a little bit and more like framed a little bit differently than it was. and I think that works the best for her now. I think as long as Rhea's on the roster, you got to focus Rhea. She is too much of a money moving, merch pushing, story interest driving. I think just having her involved with this will help the ratings of that match and the feel of that match. But I hope that, and this is the way it's been, is honestly they haven't done a whole lot in terms of interference or gimmicks during pay per views. So I think the match will be primarily on Io versus Stephanie. I think if anything happens, at least by what recent events have shown, is it's going to happen after the fact.
Yeah,
Um,
it's coming to a head here. It's gonna happen.
but they don't typically do gimmicks or run-ins or issues, in my opinion, in pay-per-views lately. They've let the pay-per-views stand on their own. So I think if there is a run-in effect, it's going to be after the match. I think the match should focus on Io versus Stephanie. It should be a good match. But after the fact, after the match is over, you're going to see the Asuka and Rhea scenario. Did I say Rio? I meant Rhea.
No, we know what you meant.
Well, Rio wrestles in the other brand.
Well, we know who you're talking about right now. Yeah, just Liv and Rhea being the two biggest women, just female moneymaker draws and merch and all that. They only got Liv, so you gotta have Rhea up there. Whether you love her or hate her, it's just what they're gonna do. It's what sells right now.
I agree with you. They shouldn't need to, but it does add to the story. And I think I think this is their long term storytelling. I think this is where Io loses, and then because of everything with Asuka, Kairi, and Rhea, that sets up where she goes next, and the storyline's there, and Stephanie gets to go on and hopefully get used more often than she's being booked right now, because it's a joke.
I mean, the only reason they're even doing this now is because Naomi got pregnant and had to drop the title. I mean, otherwise, well, we wouldn't exactly be talking about this in quite this framing right now, because the story would be different. Be Naomi probably holding on to it and just beating everyone, going like, "Yeah, ha ha ha, I'm the greatest."
Right. I just don't know what you do with that 4 group right there. I guess you have them wrestle each other in tag matches for a short time, but Kairi obviously doesn't want to be associated with Asuka in a negative way, and she's just committed. She's Pinky and Pinky in the Brain. She's the fun one, and it feels like at some point she should just walk away. I don't know who Asuka wrestles though. I don't know if she wrestles Io or Rhea in that scenario.
Asuka, I would think, would wrestle Io, and it just kind of tears, tears at Kairi with her friends fighting.
Yeah, but I meant when Kairi gets tired of this.
I I think she just pulls away from both of them with her friends fighting, and it's just up to Asuka and Io to sort it out between the two of them.
But I do agree. I think it's 100% going to be Io and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors. But I do think at some point they're going to have to. Kyrie's too nice and doesn't want to be part of it. So they have to break her away somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of think Rhea still goes for Stephanie. I think that's how they're gonna do it. Whether if they should or shouldn't.
So wait, you think that Kyrie is just playing the nice guy essentially? That she doesn't actually care. She doesn't actually seem conflicted. And that this is all just an act. Good cop, bad cop. Makes sense. I could see it, but
Yeah, I don't think that's what they're going for like this.
I think she was told to act. My personal opinion is I think she was told to act like she's conflicted and like a nice person. And the little bit of experience I have watching Japanese wrestling, they are taught to, or they seem to be have taught to over emote
Oh yeah.
to get past the language barrier, and I think that's what she's doing. She's over emoting what she's been told to do, and pretty much became an anime character in the process.
Oh, we used to see that with Kai and Tai.
Yeah.
They would over emote.
Well, that's what they want American wrestlers to do as well in Japan. Like, until you can speak the language, the bigger arm motions, the bigger actions, you're trying to convey. You're just trying to convey the emotions, and if you can't speak the language, at least oversell it with the emotions, the hand actions, this and that. And that could be what she's doing.
Yeah,
but she could be faking it. They'd have me fooled. Not gonna lie.
I mean, if she is faking it, we'll be the first ones to go like, "You were right."
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, we didn't see it, but you did.
I say this every time, and I don't think we're gonna have time this week, but we really should do predictions for this card at some point.
Yeah.
It's not as much fun as the Rumble and stuff, but we should start doing predictions.
I mean, I could predict the one. I'm going for Stephanie with the one match, but that's about it. Hitting her finger emote while talking to Asuka in the ring. I missed that.
Same, and I watched that match. I must have been busy with something else. But if it's the same thing, like her finger emotions, or I mean, that emote that she does is just so over the top. So again, yeah, 100%. That's how they want to convey their message, because they got to get past the language barrier. So they over emote. And
yeah, we also have our Monday Night Football going on at this time in the States, so we're kind of like double watching. We're watching Raw and also going like, okay, what happened here?
Yeah.
So
Cena, AJ, and Punk, Stephanie, Cody, and Braun. Those are my predictions. Probably solid. Probably a solid guess.
all right, quick, Matt, write it down.
I ain't writing shit down. Where's my snipping? Where's my snipping tool? I'll make a copy of it, but I ain't writing shit down. You gotta be nuts.
All right,
What year is this?
Make a snipping tool thing too.
Save. We'll put it on the desktop. Rename it Ghost Face. Picks. WrestlePalooza. Save. All right, your picks have been saved. I believe they're probably the same ones I'm going to make too. But
double saved.
I just realized your Ghostface. You were technically the one kicking the shit out of David Arquette.
You didn't catch that.
I did not catch that at first. I'm tired. It's been a crazy couple weeks for me, and I am sleep deprived and exhausted 90% of the time.
I finally got all my sleep back. I'm up to speed, even though I'm been yawning tonight. I'm okay.
I can't see them letting Drew win it either, but Drew deserves a title run with some fans. I mean, he deserves that. I feel like he's been a great worker. He looks the part. He's a great heel. I think he could work the part very well as the champion, but I forgot Cody had a belt. Not gonna lie.
We haven't seen him in a little bit, right?
Yeah, he took some time off.
Yeah. Well.
All right. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know how far they are along with the Street Fighter movie itself.
Well, if he has to take some time with that, this would kind of be the time for him to possibly drop the title, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but they don't usually like to put both titles on heels.
Well, that's why you line something up to get the other title off the other
Seth?
heel.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you then have someone take it off of Drew then? Or
I
wait.
mean, he'd probably be off of Drew pretty quick again, which is defeats the point. It defeats the entire point of Drew having the belt. But Seth needs the belt because they got to build the rivalry with Seth and um.
Punk.
Thank you. I just kept thinking Cody over and over and over again.
I had a stupid thought in my head. What if it'd be Punk shows up like almost like a surprise opponent and beats Drew for the belt, then takes it over to Seth and goes, "Oh, I got one too. And I'm gonna take yours. I'm gonna have both."
uh,
It's dumb. They'd never do it.
no, Clash of the Champions are over now. It's a fair point, and I forgot about Crown Jewel. When is Crown Jewel?
They like moved it up this year, didn't they?
They moved all kinds of shit around because they moved when Money in the Bank is because of them moving WrestleMania out of New Orleans.
Yeah. Then Survivor Series is always at some wackadoo time now.
Mostly November, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, we on our heads up. We're gonna have to wrap this up here in a bit.
Yeah, probably here shortly. When is it? October 11th is Crown Jewel this year.
Yeah, I thought recently saw them talk about doing Crown Jewel pretty soon.
Yeah, it's less than a month away now. So yeah, it would be pretty soon.
Oh, okay. I thought I remembered that correctly. I just didn't remember exactly when. So October, huh?
Yep.
Hmm. Oh God. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got some ideas for what direction they're gonna go with board games already at this point.
I was thinking something Bloodline and Vision at the time, but since then I don't have any great guesses since then because I don't know because
I would think maybe Vision, and then would just
they got to
what?
work through the AJ Lee time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they get that done and over with, they could move on with the vision and their visionary plan. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, whoever shows up, let's see. For women's, AJ, Rhea, Lyra, Stephanie, and Io versus Becky, Bailey, Buki Warriors, and Roxanne. It'd be hard to see them leaving Raquel out of it.
Yeah.
I could see AJ and Becky being a singles match, and Raquel and I don't know who for the good guys swapped in for those two. But everything else makes sense. I'm okay with everything else there.
I was almost thinking with that you could almost swap out Bailey for Raquel, but I don't know.
You could if Bailey hasn't gone full heel at that point. You could just do Raquel instead of Bailey too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think we're going to see Paige at some point between now and Rumble.
Oh, okay. Okay. But I don't know with Knight and Jay at each other's throats here.
That's why you would do it.
That's why you pin it because it's like, well, they're kind of good guys and they kind of get along, but yet they kind of fight.
Right.
Yeah,
That would be the
I could see that.
someone and someone versus Punk. So who would be the someone and someone with Bronson Reed and them? Hmm.
Uh, maybe a couple of the MFTs.
Maybe, but that doesn't seem big enough. I wonder if Cena goes heel by the time War Games comes around.
Uh, you think? Why? He'd be almost out.
Did I say Cena? I'm sorry, I meant Cody. I'm tired.
You did.
I looked at Cena's name on that list and I thought Cena would pair best against Cody if Cody turns heel, essentially.
Yeah.
If his run's still going, Brock could be one of the bad guys. Especially if Cena's in the match.
War Games. Oh, the one side of the men's is nothing but El Grandes.
I like that idea. Let's do that.
Nothing but El Grandes.
Logan makes a lot of sense.
Wait.
I'm surprised he hasn't. I can't think of him in a War Game. Logan makes a lot of sense. He will be in a War Games. I agree with that one. That makes a lot of sense.
War Games, you do 5 El Grandes versus 5 luchadors with a few of them mixed in from AAA.
That'd be a hell of a fun match, but no story related to it in any way, shape, or form.
No, but wild as shit. Get Mr. Iguana, Psycho Clown, just
Saw Psycho Clown wrestle in person.
just go with that.
Matthew Justice bounced a chair off his face at us in the front row.
Ow.
Yeah. Or vice versa. Maybe it was Matthew Justice bounced it off a Psycho Clown's face, but yeah.
All right. I think we gotta call it here. I'm yawning my head off. This is
same.
Not helping. I'll have to go through this more and more, but
yeah,
my brain's trying to shut off, man.
Mine did.
Okay.
You didn't hear all those mistakes I kept making with names? Mine did shut off.
Okay, I did. But I'm now focusing on me going like, okay, I'm running out of brain power here myself.
I had fun with this conversation. Thanks for hanging out, Ghostface, like always. I appreciate it. I'm sure we appreciate it.
It helped us have more to talk about than rather just being frustrated with how, Raw has been going week after week of just like, it's not really much going on.
I like it, except Finn is already mad.
Finn is already mad?
Because, Dom, Finn, and Grande 1, 2, and 3. Problem being that the El Grande could be one of this is maybe a topic for the next week. We have one of these because it could go into a much deeper one. It looks like El Grande is going to be the destruction of the Judgment Day at this point.
Oh, yeah, going sort of with that angle. Maybe. I'm not buying it yet.
Yeah, I think that could force Finn out, but I think the real destruction doesn't happen until Liv comes back.
Yeah. I agree. All right. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yep. All right. It's been fun. We'll be back in next week. I'd like to try to pop in more often, but we just don't ever seem to make it work out that way. But
yeah, you got a little bit too much going on right now, so that doesn't help the situation. But we'll get there.
Yeah. But all right, I'm gonna call it because I'm not getting names right to save my life right now. So it's been fun for the other Matt and me, Matt. We will talk to you again next week. And again, thanks for hanging out, Ghostface. And we'll be back on next week right after Raw again. Is Raw 7 p.m.? We'll look it up.
I'd say probably.
I'm sure they'll tell us. They'll tell us on SmackDown and WrestlePalooza and everything over and over again.
Yeah.
All right. It's been